So because of this thing, then the result is that. So that means this is a causal relationship. Because one thing happens, the result is that. That thing caused that to happen. What happens in a lot of instances is we use correlation to make a fact or use correlation to prove a point. And people don't realize that that thing did not cause the result. That thing is just simply correlated with that result.
Welcome to Impact and Fulfillment with Coach Mike D, where you'll gain practical wisdom and dynamic insight from amazing conversations to live your best life.
What's going on, y'all? This is Coach Mike D with another episode of Impact and Fulfillment. I hope you're well. I hope you're having an amazing day. I hope you are doing what's best for the moment. And I hope you are rising to the occasion. But today's quick episode, I want to dive into a concept: causation versus correlation. Causation versus correlation. So, especially as we move forward in this political climate and various statistics will get thrown out, or when you look at things like medicine or, results from various studies, you need to be mindful of the difference between causation and correlation. So recently I made a post on Instagram and I did like a sequenced reel where I put my response to this particular video afterwards. But in this video, it was a lady making a post about, how to raise successful kids. And she threw out a statistic that the kids with the best outcomes come from situations where mom is happy. Right. And in the video, someone, made the statement, so is it having dad at home? And the person in the video said, absolutely not. It's about mom being happy. And it was interesting because afterwards I made the response and I said, well, typically in most instances where mom is happy, if you can look at a situation in which mom is in a successful, loving and supportive relationship, that usually results in mom being happy, right? And when I made the post, somebody chimed in, shout out to a good friend of mine. She chimed in and she mentioned that the statement is probably true, but it's not causal. It's simply correlated. Causal versus correlated. So something that's causal is the catalyst. So because of this thing, then the result is that. So that means this is a causal relationship. Because one thing happens, the result is that. That thing caused that to happen. What happens in a lot of instances is we use correlation to make a fact or use correlation to prove a point. And people don't realize that that thing did not cause the result. That thing is just simply correlated with that result. Meaning, if something happened, you look at a lot of different results from that thing happening, and all of those things are correlated, but all of those things listed did not cause the other thing to happen. So if folks are not keen on understanding causal and correlated, then they will automatically assume that something correlated might be the cause of the result that's desired, and that's not true. So the example of the happy mom results in, well-raised kids or successful kids is not causal. It's actually correlated, because kids who grow up and have successful outcomes in a lot of instances also grow up in situations with a happy mom. It's not guaranteed, but it's also not causal. So we cannot draw the conclusion that all we need is just a happy mom to have successful kids, because that's not the case either. You can't miss the fact that how everything was originally designed was for mom and dad to both be in the picture and for them to be in a strong, loving, and successful relationship, and for them to be a part of a community. If you look throughout history, nobody does this alone. Not even a couple, a nuclear family does it alone. There is a whole village. You know, that's the old African proverb. It takes a whole village to raise a child, right? Can it be done without that? Absolutely. Can people come from challenging, rough, hard circumstances and live monumental, world-changing lives? Absolutely. But what we're talking about is correlated versus causal, and also understanding the fact that at times people who know that the vast majority of individuals do not understand this difference will use this and manipulate your thought pattern. So as we move forward into the political season, as you look at scientific data, as you listen to claims being made by quote unquote experts, be mindful of the difference between causal and correlated, and make sure you recognize which one is which and which one is being promoted. Because if someone has an agenda, more often than not, they're not going to delineate, or they're not going to show you that this is causal, or they're not going to highlight the fact that this is just simply correlated, because their goal is to prove a point. It's your job to understand the difference. All right. Well, hey, the whole point of this is for you to be informed, right? So that you can make proper decisions, and so that you can, move forward and really know what's going on. And the more you know, the more you're armed to go do the right thing. So anyway, y'all have an amazing day, and make sure to grab a copy of my book, The 33 Laws of Impact and Fulfillment. And until next time, y'all be blessed, well, and wise, and I'll holler at you. Peace.
I really hope you enjoyed today's episode. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and follow Coach Mike D everywhere on social media. Y'all be blessed, well, and wise.